Gog, the head of Meshach, and Gog and Magog. Okay, so Gog is the ideology we're at war against. It's a religion of murder, terror, and captivity. Everything Jesus is not. It's pedophilia. That is an abomination unto God. Okay? So, I've already explained all those things. But what I was thinking is that this is war on Satan himself. Okay? Because there are only two sides. The sides are not equal. Satan is not equal to Jesus or God, but he is the adversary. He is the great adversary. He is the only adversary besides our flesh that wants to serve ourselves. And then when we do that, when the Ten Commandments, have no other gods before me, if you put your flesh as your God, that is anti-God. That's anti-Christ. That's anti anything that is not of, if you're not for me, you're against me, God says. So if you're not, okay, so anything that is not God, Muslim, Islam, it's not God. It's of the devil. This war is the biggest, most important war on not only freedom, like all the other good wars we've fought, a lot of been some stupid, foolish, wasteful wars, but this is a dual war. It's a war, or triple, unlike any of the other good wars we've had on freedom. This war is a war against captivity, terror, and like I said, murder. Under the guise of religion, they're pedophilic murderers and rapists. And they don't even serve God, the real God. I've already explained this about Ishmael. 19 years, 20 years, he was taught about the one true God. And he was all embittered and enraged that he got thrown out at 19 after the weaning party. He didn't even know his mouth was going to get him kicked out of the house to die. You got to realize that. When they got kicked out, there was no plan. And they were only given enough bread and water until they died. It was by God. God kept them alive. And Ishmael, the thanks he gives God is to say, like Cain, up yours, I'm going to serve another God. Well, and he's not the chosen. He's the rejected. I gave you all the Bible verses in my posts, and it explains it. So I'm saying that I think this is the biggest, most important war ever in humanity. I may sound, dramatic, but I'm not. And I believe God is not going to let us win this war, because it would be too much glory stealing. But it's not that we're bad for fighting it. What I mean is, God wants us fighting it. He wants us always fighting evil back as hard as we can with our armor on. We're in a war. Hello, we didn't come here to earth for like sunshine and roses. So God has, like Jesus said, what if it were already kindled? Now I know it doesn't necessarily mean that, but the war is kindled, the fire is kindled, and Jesus is chomping at the bit. If you read other translations of that, he says, what if it were already kindled? I am in a straitjacket, holding me back between, he's like, I want it to be kindled. I want it to be ablaze. I want it to be on fire, ablaze. So that is coming to that. And then whether it is the war of Ezekiel 38 or not, I don't know. But I do think that God is not going to let us get any glory by winning this war. I think God is going to intervene. Yes, Dad, we're here. I'll get you buggy. I think God is going to intervene right when it's getting good. Right when it's getting good, hot and heavy and all that. Because Trump is not going to back down, because God is got his hand on his back, pushing him to this. Plus, God already knows the kind of man he chose in Trump. God knows that Trump is the type of character, he's got good character, that he will not settle. Trump isn't going to start something this serious and then, oh, I'm negotiating. Whatever. Go read his book, The Art of the Deal. I'm sure it's got exactly the same strategy, and if it doesn't, I'm sure he's ever learning. He's probably always learning new things about the art of a deal. But I'll tell you one thing, the art of a deal, whatever it is, I'm sure he has the basic, core, fundamental value of the art of the deal, and that's what he's going by. I'll bet you anything, dollars to donuts. He's going by the core rule of the art of making the deal, and it's probably way more simple than we even realize, and that's what he is doing right now. So I think it's soon. I've said in comments, I've said, these people are bloodthirsty, blood suckers. They've drawn blood. When you get bit by a dog and they go, oh, did it draw some blood? Did it just break the skin? Or did it draw blood? No, they've drawn blood. And they've got the taste for blood. Even if we're not fearing them, they don't smell fear on us, that makes them even more vicious and determined. I've said this before, they're insane. They're irrational. Irrational is insanity. Okay? You can't have one without the other. So I'm thinking this. I'm thinking that God, I'm thinking this is it, because there's no turning back from when they say men will wax worse and worse. Yeah, that doesn't go in reverse. Hell no. They're going to wax worse and worse, and then what? God pushes the pause button, and then he's like, wait, nah, my word isn't true when I say what I say. Hell no. No. He said it, it's happening. It's going to happen. And it's never been this worse than it has right now. And hang on, baby, I'll get your buggy. And then so I'm thinking that, yeah, it's going to happen right while we're in this war on this evil Satan. And God is going to get glory for it. God is going to have whether it's Ezekiel 38 or not, maybe it could be like God's always repeating stuff. Maybe it'll be something similar to Ezekiel 33. And then, hold on. Yes, Daddy. Big boy, buddy. Maybe it'll be something similar to Ezekiel 33, And we're all going to see Israel get saved. But I just know one thing. I'm pretty sure that God is not going to let us get glory by winning this war on terror, even if it takes a year, or even if Trump defies everybody and makes it a forever war. Oh goodness, it's been going on 2 years. Whatever. I think God's going to do a quick work. I think as sands through the hourglass, when it gets to the bottom, it starts going faster. I don't think it's going to slow down. It's the birth pains. And I think instead of us getting glory by overcoming this war on Satan and Islam and terror, even if we did, we're fighting it off over there, but it is all over the world. So it's like we're accepting it worldwide. All these countries are accepting it, yet we're at war against it in the Middle East. So 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. That can't be. You can't have free Islam and Muslim all over the world except now in the Middle East. that is never gonna fly, because they're all gonna uprise here even after we were to have won that war. And I don't think God is happy with us fighting in it, but I don't think he's gonna allow us to win it. We'll get a good chunk of it done, but we're not gonna be the end we're not gonna be the ones being able to say, hey, we got it done. He's gonna be the one, and I hope it's Ezekiel 38, and to where the whole world is gonna see that it was God, and he's gonna get glory. And yeah, then like maybe that angel in Revelation will appear while everyone's going, wow, look. They're gonna go, wow, look, God saved Israel. And while we're looking, he's marking 44,000 somewhere. Also, the everlasting gospel. Or maybe we'll get raptured right when we're all seeing it. Oh, look, God. And then we get raptured. And then the angels of Revelation come. I don't know. A lot of that stuff can happen simultaneously, except for the 3 angels in Revelation 14 may be spread out. They're not gonna, I don't think, come one right after another in succession. They won't come out of order, but they're not gonna necessarily be one right after another. So yeah, I'm thinking, I was realizing this today, that I don't think we are going to have the pleasure of seeing this war end by us. I think God is gonna be the one that's gonna end it and get rid of Islam all over the world. And then look, it'll be peaceful and perfect peace and safety. That peace and safety, then sudden destruction. I don't know if that happens. It could be peace and safety for 3.5 years and then sudden destruction. It could be several times that there's peace and safety and then sudden destruction. So I'm thinking, once that Islam over there is taken care of, that is pretty much peace and safety for Israel. And I think God's going to do it, and I hope we get to see it. Okay, bye.